Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Al Stock Trades. Welcome to Al Stock Trades from Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, it is currently 11:14 p.m. in Miami. So don't be telling me that it's too late. I'm up with you guys now on the East Coast. I'm up with you late. Okay, I just came from a nice dinner. I was at rustic something. Hold on, let me get this right. Shout out to where the hell are you? Rustic. No. I got it really wrong. Rusty Pelican. Holy moly! It was really good, man. It was really good. So, I'm gonna let you guys know this is pure speculation. There is no VA announcement. I put it in the title. Could Clover revolutionize the VA healthcare systems? Speculation and insights. This is all speculation. We're going to speculate in this video, okay? But we're not going to speculate in an unintelligent way. I've conducted a thorough analysis regarding the speculation. In fact, I'm going to see, actually, I'm going give, hold on. Let me speculate in a better screen. Let me open up preview, shall we? Let's open up preview because preview is just in a better format. There it is. Let me go ahead and share the screen here. Okay. So this is called, no, that's not right. This is called preview. Okay. That's not what I wanted. This one. This is called preview. And let's go ahead and let's do continuous scroll. Yes. You see how that's a lot better than this? Okay, so we conducted a thorough analysis in our deep dive research. We're going to be releasing this for free because this is speculation. The other ones, obviously, there's some, there's some data insights from this one, but this one's speculation. But this is so I want to speculate in Miami as well. So yeah, we're going to speculate all over Miami. Okay, so essentially, this is going to be very in-depth speculation. We're going to give out estimates. Oh, you see these are big numbers, right? Get ready for the speculation. Okay, we're gonna go over this report. Okay, and here are the references and whatnot, right? So this is a smart way to speculate. Okay, so now let's so now that we got that out of the way, let's first say what's going on, Clove to retirement. What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? What's up, James? How you doing, Shant? What's going on? All right, guys. Okay, so let's speculate. Okay, so late live. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, what else do I want to say before we start? Okay, why am I doing this? Okay, so Elon Musk now is very motivated to really just try to, in the vision of the party, MAGA party, they want to truly try to make America, great again. Again, I don't know when it was great before. Maybe in the 90s, when we had a positive surplus, maybe in Clinton's administration. Maybe I don't know, but they're trying really hard, and I see that they're trying. Right? They've already uncovered $1 billion of, I guess, what they're saying it's wasteful spending, which is 365 million every year. Their target is around 3 million per $3 billion per day versus a billion, which that'll get them to about $1 trillion a year. Okay. So that's pretty intense, right? And the reason why I'm talking about this potential speculation in VA is that Elon Musk just got access to CMS. What is CMS? It is the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid. And what he's realizing is there's a lot of waste in the Medicare and Medicaid business, and we already have somebody on the inside, Coquinos, right? I don't want to give too much names out there, but we have somebody who's been appointed by Trump in the past, and there is a positive somebody. We already have David Sachs in the White House, and he's the crypto and AI czar. David Sachs and Elon are good friends. In fact, they worked together many years ago in PayPal, and and David Sachs follows Clover Health. Okay, so this is pretty it's starting to become that we may see some spend reduction in CMS. Now, if I was to look at any company out there that is currently trying to decrease waste in the healthcare field, one particular is Clover Health. They, hey, instead of ordering that lab test, you already have one, and it's this one. You want to use that instead to save money? There's a lot of wasteful spending, and it's taking a computer scientist like Andrew Toy into creating these algorithms that use machine learning that with what is essentially Clover Assistant, now white blanketed as the counterpart assistant, which you can basically see here. Okay. Um, so very quickly, let's go ahead and Crazy Al working while on vacation in Miami. He might be a workaholic, all right, or AI, right? I think it's a little bit of both, guys. Honestly, right? I love to work, right? I love reading. I love research. In fact, I was doing research earlier this morning. This is what better to do it when you're on vacation. Do what you love. I was doing some research, some neurosurgery stuff, and I was having a good time, right? So I'm gonna be pumping out a lot of papers in the next 6 months. Um, the dots are about to start connecting, and I hope these dots are real, right? So we have one here. They are not auditors. How can they tell you it's wasteful? That's correct. How do you know that billion of dollars a day is wasteful? I mean, how do you know that is a very valid point. It's his word against no one else. It's all well, I mean, it's speculation on the fact that it's calling waste, but they are saving. Oh, how about this? Let me rephrase, right? They're not giving somebody $1 billion a day now. And that's whether it's good or bad. I guess we'll see if our government, if our United States still functions correctly. I hope it does. And if things break, I assume they'll try to fix it. I hope. We can hope. But worst case, we got 2 years until the next election, or 4 years if we're in a democratic process, right? So from this perspective, because they want to save money, right? Because they want to save money, guys, right? Um, Clover Health sits as the only insurance company that's doing this, and they have a SaaS right now. They activated their SaaS. They've reduced their MCR by more than 10%. They have the top, HEDIC whatever score, which is huge, huge. And they have just got 4 stars. So ultimately, and there's David Sachs, who's following Clover on Twitter and who has the ear of Donald Trump and Elon, and Chamath knows Elon. And, so there's a lot of dots being connected, right? There's a lot of dots here, okay? I hope they shut down that waste down. Imagine the incumbents hurting even with all the fraud. Imagine taking away their silver spoon. Yeah, I mean it'll be so you bring up a really good point. I'm going to respond to these comments real quick here, and then we're going to go ahead and read this analysis together, because I find this, and then we're going to conduct an analysis to see how far Clover could go based off of just the VA alone. Imagine all healthcare systems, right? So you bring up a good point, because Elon is very motivated, and I've never seen a man like this before. Like, when he wants something, he'll do whatever it takes to accomplish this, which I find very for me, I find it inspiring, because I hope you guys can see I work my ass off, to build this platform, and I don't take no for an answer. I want to be able to I want to be able to be in the operating room, do God's work while my software is out there doing God's work. I just want to be doing God's work 24/7, right? Even when I sleep. If I'm not helping somebody, if I die and I'm not helping someone, then I've failed the mission of what it means to be a human, right? The upper mission of what God intended me to do. But you bring a good point, Shant. Okay, so Elon is actually going to pay $40 million. Is it? Hold on. How much is he going to pay? 40 million at the Super Bowl. Yeah. So about 40 million at the Super Bowl. And what he's going to do is he's going to advertise all the money already he's saved Um, and I think the Super Bowl is tomorrow, right? Yeah, so the Super Bowl is tomorrow. So we're going to see Elon showcase the $1 billion. I guess he saved the American people, whatever. I mean, again, I understand what Simply Sung you're saying. We don't. I agree. I see your point of view, right? But he's going to advertise it as $1 billion in a day saved, and it's just going to cause a positive feedback loop of people saying, "Let's save more. Let's save more." It's honestly turned into a game, right? Of let's save. Um, oh yeah, I love Florida. Great people, great vibes. I love it. We're gonna be coming back home soon. A very quick trip. Okay. Um, there's speculation plus VA equals satisfaction. I love that. I love that. Pump it up. We got to pump it up. Well, I mean, this is I wouldn't say I'm trying to pump, but strategically, I myself am doing these analysis for myself, and I want to share them with you guys, because I'm curious to see, how could this go? How far could this go? Um, the big boys have been upcoding, denying claims, anything to squeeze the dollar. They, their reins need to be brought in. Okay, there it is. So we're gonna hold off the comments there, and we're gonna get to the research, and we'll go back to comments. Okay. So again, the title impact analysis. So for people that are driving, listening, I don't like to read text. I think you can read it yourself, but I'm gonna read this one because I think this is a pretty good one. Okay, so impact analysis. So counterpart assistant partnership with VA healthcare. Again, this is speculation. Speculation. Okay. So introduction. Counterpart assistant, an AI-driven clinical support platform incubated by Clover Health, is poised to transform primary care delivery if deployed across the Veterans Affairs VA healthcare system. The VA operates the nation's largest integrated health network, serving millions of veterans, right? And here's the citation, right? The analysis examines the potential scale of impact, financial projections under a 25 PMPM per month or per member per month model, and broader implications for care delivery and market positioning. Insights are drawn from official VA data, veterans health surveys, and industry studies to ensure accuracy and depth. So this is kind of where the analysis, where I got the numbers from. Okay. Um, I picked 25. I think they can potentially charge more, but I think 25 is a pretty good number, which is kind of $300, around $300 per year. So a nationwide VA partnership would span a vast primary care patient population. Key estimates include, so let's read this. Total VA primary care patients, approximately 9 million veterans are enrolled in VA health care, with about 6.8 million receiving VA care annually in recent years. This makes the VA primary care network one of the largest in the country. So, older adults, 65 plus, roughly half of VA's patient cohort is ages 65 or older, which obviously make them a very key ripe opportunity for Clover Health to inject their data into the system. And they deserve the best, right? So, in other words, an estimated 4 to 4.5 million VA enrollees are seniors, a demographic that closely aligns with counterpart assistance focus on Medicare aged populations. The VA data shows about 46 to 50% of VA patients fall in the 65 plus group, reflecting, and this is obviously from NIH reputable website, reflecting the high concentration of older adults in the VA community. Now, I think, just always double check what I say. Don't take anything I say as God, as a Bible. Uh, say whatever whatever I say is a grain of salt. And I would like you to always fact check me, because this is a conversation. This is a live, and if you're watching this live on recording, go ahead and comment down what you think. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Sometimes I only give it a love, but understand that I read it. When I give it a love, it means I read it and I thought about it, right? So definitely want to hear your thoughts, of course, right? So these numbers are really good, right? So, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If you think I'm the only one who thought about this, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. You don't think Andrew Toy thought about this? He probably thought about this before the company even started. He probably thought about this in 2020, 2019. They probably thought about this in, a long time ago. Okay. So we are, excuse me, we are finally connecting the dots, I think, of where Clover could be, but these dots have already been thought of. I just want to know the numbers, what could potentially be the case. So these figures highlight a sizable target population for Counterpart Assistant. The over 65 segment is particularly significant given their complex health needs and the platform's value in managing chronic conditions. This literally, it's almost like I'm reading one of their slides, right? I mean, this is legit, right? So now let's go ahead and look at the financial projections of the reimbursement of 25 per member per month. So using a reimbursement of 25 PMPM, we project the financial impact of the VA partnership over a 3, 5, and 10-year horizons for each veteran under primary care. $25 PMPM equates to $300 per patient per year in revenue. Table 1 summarizes projected annual revenues according for growth in enrollment and demographic shifts. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do a quick mic check. Okay, good. So I want to make sure. So we have the time horizon, the estimated primary care patients, and the annual revenue. So for year one, if they were to do this, you would have 7 million primary care patients, which is equivalent an annual revenue of $2.1 billion. This will be in SaaS revenue. We're talking billion, B for billion. Year 3 would have 7.4 million. That is $2.22 billion in annual revenue. By year 10, you would have 8 million primary care patients, which is equivalent to $2.4 billion. Now, let's stop here and let's basically think about this from a perspective of SaaS. Now, remember, SaaS is subscription as a service. It is evaluated in a different methodology. Okay. So specifically, it is not a 1-to-1 or 0.5 to, 1 to 0.1 translated to 0.5 for price to sales. It can be approximately around 6 to 7 price to sales. But if you look at Palantir, which is incredibly interesting, let's just kind of move here. Let's just give me a moment and I'll let you, how about this? I'll let you kind of take a moment to just kind of look at this for a sec. And let me just uh, find the numbers quickly for, let me just get the numbers quickly for Palantir. Give me a couple seconds. One moment. Excellent. Okay. So let's go ahead. So this is Palantir's price to sales. So currently, Palantir is operating at a price to sales of 67. Now, I want to make sure this is the case because sometimes we could be wrong. Let's just, we have the data here. Let's just use the data real quick. Give me a moment. Right here. Let's type in Palantir. Let's use our brain here and let's use the quarterly real quick. And so here's the revenue. So let me just quickly add this to make sure I'm looking at this. Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to make sure these numbers are correct. So we make sure because again, we want to be correct here, right? We don't want to. If I'm going to speculate, I need to speculate in a way that is I have some math in it. If I have math in it, then I'll be more comfortable with my analysis. So if it does happen, I'll be ready because I'll know where this will be going, right? So let's do this here. I'm just adding these numbers. So 2865. So I'm just trying to see this real quick. 2865, right? 2865. Okay, good. So, okay, so this is updated. I just wanted to make sure if it's updated here. Okay, it's updated. So I need you to just kind of listen here. Okay, so here's the free cash flow for Palantir. Okay, so the free cash flow you can see it's quite. Let me just zoom in. Zoom in here. Yeah, let's zoom in because this is pretty impressive. This is the Al Stock Trades terminal. It's our advanced terminal. If you guys want to, again, it's lifetime access, so you just do one-time payment, and you'll own this forever. It's for the folks that are interested. We have a flash sale. Take advantage. It's going to be expiring soon, but let's go back because this is very important. Okay, so look, 2018, the free cash flow was negative. So at negative, 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 and then in 2021 it became positive. But then in 2022 it dropped. It went from 321 million down to 183 million, right? But then look what happened in 2023. The free cash flow jumped to 697,000. Sorry, 697 million. And all of a sudden the free cash flow jumped to 1.1 billion. Remember, there's 1,000 millions in 1 billion. So this is 1.1 billion. And this is off of $2.8 billion in revenue. So if you were to calculate how many of the free cash flow turns into, how much of the revenue turns into free cash flow, you essentially calculate this number and you essentially get a 39.8. So essentially 40%, 40% of the revenue from Palantir goes to free cash flow. Okay. 40% of the revenue of Palantir goes to free cash flow. Now I'm going to just give you an example. AMD, let's look at AMD. AMD has $25 billion in $25.7 billion in revenue. But look at the free cash flow. They have 2.4 billion. It takes 25.7 billion dollars of revenue to get 2.4 billion in free cash flow. So if you were to do the, versus for Palantir, it took, 1.1, it took 2.8 billion to get 1 billion. So you could see how like Palantir is more effective. More of its money goes into becoming free cash flow, right? And you see, remember I told you for many, video, thousands of, we made a lot of videos. I told you it's all about free cash flow, right? I'm setting ourselves up for this. So I hope you watch this video, and I'm trying to interweave my brain and my thought process. Before I didn't have this technology to show you what my brain is thinking. Now I'm giving you this, which is what Wall Street has. So I hope we can see this. Okay. So now let's calculate what AMD revenue goes to free cash flow. So to do that, we do 2405. I'm just taking this number, guys, right? This is not rocket science. This is children's math, okay? Okay, 785 here. So it takes about 9.3% of revenue goes to free cash flow. So you see how Palantir, if it's 40%, AMD is 9.3%. So Palantir is 400% more productive than AMD. So then now I want you to go here and I want you to do this simple analysis. Palantir's market cap now is $252 billion, right? $252 billion off of around $2 billion of revenue. Okay. Now let's look at AMD, right? AMD is 174 billion off of 25 billion or whatever it was in revenue. So are you starting to see kind of, what the market values? The market values free cash flow, right? And the point I'm making is that Clover, we thought they were going to be 5% of the revenue goes to free cash flow. As of right now, they are 11.5% of revenue goes to free cash flow, which is insane. And that's not even their SaaS business. What happens if they're like Palantir, where 30 to 40% goes to free cash flow? What I'm trying to paint you the picture is we may see a position where the price to sales of Palantir may become like Clover Health, or maybe half of it, right? Or maybe 25% of it. So to go ahead and just do this again, just really quickly, just to get these numbers down. So Palantir has a revenue of this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this here. And then it has a market cap of, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to convert this into billion. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to divide by 1,000. So now we have 2.86. We'll make it into a 7 because of the round. We'll just do this, okay? And then we'll take the market cap and we'll divide the market cap by the revenue, okay? And what we do is we get 88.25, which goes back to what simply Sung was saying. It's 82x, which is insane. So yeah, I agree. It's so what this graph was saying is it was 67. That's incorrect. It's actually, and I did the calculation, it's 88.25, right? So I need you to just remember this number, okay? Let's just kind of make a little checkbox, little text box here. Let's kind of zoom in real quick, okay? And let's take this number here and let's multiply this, and let's this is the price to sales of And actually, I don't like this. I honestly don't like this. I'm not happy. Let's open up a Google Doc. Let's do that. Let's open up a new, just a brand new thing. Let's put it here, and let's zoom here, and let's just kind of increase the size here. Let's not be cheap with our analysis. Let's just make this real easy for people to see, because there's people that are 65 that watch our video, right? So I would be pissed off if I couldn't see this, okay? So this is the price to sales for Palantir, okay? So let's do a 50% reduction. Now we're going to do a 50% reduction. So 50% reduction. To do that, we'll just kind of underline it here so we can hear. So we just do 88, was the number 88.25. Divide by 2, that's about 44.125. Okay, that could be potentially the price to sales, okay? And let's go ahead and let's just decrease it a little bit so we can fit more information here. Now let's do a 25% of PLTR's price to sales, okay? And to do that, we'll just take 88.25 and we'll multiply it by 25%. And that means it'll be 22.06 of price to sales. I'm gonna explain to you what I'm doing right now, okay? Price to sales, and then we'll do the normal price to sales of just a typical SaaS. So we'll say typical, and we'll just say around 7x, 7 to 10. We'll just, since these are all bullish, we'll just do 7, right? We'll do 7. So this is typical. Okay, these are the different levels of SaaS we're going to be doing in our calculation for Clover in regards to the speculation of what we just basically said. For folks that are just tuning in, we are recommend watching the video from the beginning, because we already read all this up at the top. We're going to read the bottom now, but this is a speculation regarding how much SaaS money will Clover generate, and from this SaaS money, how much of it will become revenue, which we talked about already. And with the price to sales analysis, given that it's SaaS, what could be the potential worth of Clover if this was to happen. So let's do the calculation. So this is obviously the growth rate of, we could go ahead estimate the growth rate real quick. We'll say 10-year growth rate. Obviously, the 3 year is pretty crazy on how it's growing. I would say that's pretty insane. I would say we could do 5 years. So we'll do 5 years. 5 years is pretty good. So 7.8 to 7. So let's go ahead and open up our 10-year projection real quick, and let's just kind of, oh, what's this? Sorry, guys. So there it is. We'll do this one here. And we'll go ahead and reload this. We're going to be obviously, just doing this one here, and so this is let's do 5 years. 7.8. So 7.8. 7.8. We'll type in 7.8. I'm not calculating revenue. I'm calculating people. I want to see the growth rate of the people, right? I'm curious. What is the growth rate of the people? Obviously, we can calculate the business here too, but I'm just curious. Yeah. And let's say 2025. Let's say 2025 plus 5 is 2030. So say 2030. Let's choose 2025, and this is about 7 billion. 7 billion. Sorry, 7 million. So the growth rate is 2%. So imagine, let's say 2% growth rate. And then remember, this is just the VA. Imagine others. Imagine other people other than the VA. Like, for example, Duke, Iowa Clinic, Southern Illinois. If you want those analysis, we essentially have those in respects to our lifetime paying members. It's part of our research edge. This one is free, of course. I'm showing you the details of it because it's speculation, right? This is just, let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. Let's talk about it. This is not real. This is just speculation. But could this potentially be a future? I think it could be, right? So let's talk about it. I want you to cut open my thesis and just let's just have a freaking discussion, right? Let's do this, okay? So 2%, right? So 2% growth, okay? Maybe the revenues are a little higher. I don't know, right? Maybe the billions. I don't know, but let's call it 2%, right? Okay. So this will be good for the future. So now let's look at year one. Year one, they would be 2.1 billion, right? So let's do the math now, and all we have to do is we'll do the first one here. We'll use year one, which is 2.1 billion. Okay. So 2.1 billion multiplied by 88.25 would give you a market cap of $185 billion. Now, obviously, this is the most extreme bullishness because it is using Palantir's price to sales as of today, which is insane. So what would be the stock price of Clover? It would be this number multiplied around by 2. So you take this number multiplied by 2. The stock price of Clover Health will be $370.65, which is insane. So this is, I would call this insane, right? I don't think that it would approach price to sales of Palantir. But this is kind of just, this is not off of the Medicare Advantage. This is not off of the Iowa Clinic. This is just off of the VA, all of the VA members. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's do the calculation, but this time let's do the calculation for half of the price to sales of Palantir. What is this? Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, we would get $92 billion in market cap, which is equivalent to a 185 $185 stock price. Okay. So let's just kind of make this a little smaller so we can see a little bit. It's getting a little harder to see, right? So now we can always zoom in too, right? It's not like the end of the world here, right, guys? So we can just go here, right? So here's the here's the first stock price. I would say this is an insane stock price because it's for the price to sales of this. Here's the second stock price. This is like 50%, which I would say is still a little bit insane. Again, this is just for the VA. This is just for the VA. If they were to do this, and this is just for year one. Imagine, year 10 when they're going to make more money, right? The growth rate. So I would say, this is how crazy the stock price can jump. I would say 25% of Palantir would be appropriate, and you can really honestly say 10, right? So we'll do both of these. So we'll go ahead and put 2.1, right? We'll multiply it by this number here, right, guys, right? And we'll equal it, and we'll see this is 46.32 billion, right? We'll go ahead, put this here, and we'll go here, and this will be a 92. We'll do this will be a stock price of $92, right? $92. Okay. So this is the stock price of it. So I would say this is more reasonable, I would say. And this is just for the VA. I want to hear your thoughts, okay? All right, and we're going to go to comments right now. Let me just go ahead and go through this. So 2.1. Now let's go ahead and multiply it by 10. You do that, you get 21 billion. You get a stock price now of 21 times 2. You get $42 stock price, okay? So I would say that if the VA was to happen, I would be more like, I would be more of a believed of a price to sales ratio of 10. But given that it's a small company and that it's growing, I wouldn't be surprised if we would go to price to sales of 20, around 20, right? And the reason why I say this is because let's open up this now. So now I want us to go to CLOV, and now I want us to go to quarterly, and let's fetch the data. And I want us to just before we go to quarterly, I just want you to just look at the annual let's just look at the free cash flow. This is for Palantir. Okay, guys, listen. It went from negative to positive in 2021, right? And then went to 321 million. Then it went to 183 million, and then it went to 697 million, and now it went to 1.1 billion. Guys, look at this, guys. Look at the free cash flow is going to the freaking moon. See how it signaled you negative to positive? It's going to the moon. And you could go ahead and graph net income and just remove net income. You could see net income starting to go up too. And you could basically see this from here, right? You see how they became profitable, right? You see how the free cash flow came first, and then right after free cash flow, it took them after free cash flow it took them about 1 to 2 years to become. So they became free cash flow positive in 2021. They became net income positive in 2023. So you just take 23 minus 21. It took them 2 years to achieve to profitability. So now let's go ahead and look at Clover, right? Let's look at Clover. Okay, so you could see Clover, and you can see free cash flow. It's all negative, right? But what people don't understand is if you look at the quarterly, the last 3 quarters have been positive, right? And look at right the Q1, Q2, and Q3, right, ladies and gentlemen. So all we're waiting for now is Q4. But let's just go ahead and let's add up the revenues, and let's do the calculation of how much of revenue is going to free cash flow. So let's go ahead and just kind of do this here. And let's add a plus sign. Let's go ahead and add a plus sign. And let's go ahead and add an equal sign. Sadly, it's not doing it for me. So I'll just go here real quick. It's about this much. So we got about this much in revenue, right? This is the revenue, right? This is revenue calculation. So now let's go ahead and do the calculation for free cash flow for Clover. This is as of now. So this is free cash flow. Let's go ahead and add the free cash flows real quick. You go ahead and I would say 118 million, but we can go ahead and do this one, which is fine to illustrate the point. So now let's go ahead and let's take 128.3 divided by 1033.68. We go ahead and do that, and we get this. We multiply that by 100, but we multiply that by 100% or whatever. You translate that to 12.4%. So 12.4% of, as of now, of the revenue becomes essentially free cash flow. Okay. And this is without SaaS. This is right now. This is reality. Base reality right now. 12.4% of Clover's revenue. This is from Q1 to Q3. Q4 may chop things up. We'll see. But obviously, this is them at 3.5 stars. Imagine once they get paid to 4 stars. This will probably increase even more by potentially 5%. Right. And remember, that's only part of their Medicare Advantage business. That's not their SaaS. So you can see that their SaaS could even be higher than this. Right. You remember AMD was around 9.3%. Palantir's revenue to free cash flow is around 39.8%, essentially 40%, right? So are you starting to see kind of what we've been talking about? And you remember in the videos in the past, I took 5% of the revenue to estimate it to free cash flow. Many people were calling me crazy, but it was actually I was undervaluing Clover in my conservative analysis because it's actually now 12.4%, not 5%. I was undervaluing it by more than 100%, right? Again, I hope these numbers make sense, because if you want to become a millionaire in this, if you want to be like Bill Ackman and all these people, you need to understand these numbers, okay? All right. So, and this is exactly what our platform does, right? It helps you go from 0 to hero, right? Right. So now that we said speculation, but holy moly, right? We are trying to speculate in a very proper way. And if you haven't realized, we created a mega bull case, a bull case, and a bullish base case, and a base case, right? So a base case, if the VA operates with Clover Health for its counterpart assistant, you would see a base case of 42, a bullish base case of $92. Sorry, a base case of $42, a bullish base case of $92, a bullish of $185 stock price, and a mega bullish or insane mega bullish of $370 stock price. Okay. And the reason why is because I just showed you the price to sales and the different types of price to sales that a SaaS can command, and more specifically, a SaaS that is able to take majority of its revenue and convert it into free cash flow. You already are starting to see Clover Health take what do we say? 12.4% of its revenue and convert it to free cash flow. And that's just with its Medicare Advantage business. Imagine if you add SaaS, what it would be. Could it be 20? Could it be 25? Ladies and gentlemen, if it does that, that's essentially, it could be the price of sales. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if this is a hard, fast equation, but we said around 40% of the revenue goes to free cash flow. Could it be 40% times 2? And maybe that can be around 80 price to sales. That could be the calculation. Maybe Clover now it's 12.4, could be maybe 22 price. Again, that's a thing that that's not correct. I haven't validated that, but I'm just trying to look at patterns right now. But I've never, that's not backed by data. That's just backed by some observation with beach sounds in the back, right? So let's go ahead and go back to my due diligence. But first, let's go ahead and look at the comments, right? What about Pfizer, right? I'm just kidding, right? Free cash flow is king, right? I love you, CLOV to retirement, right? Costco has pretty high prices to sales. Amazon is like 26. Yeah, Costco is different. Amazon, yeah, I would say that's pretty good. SaaS usually range from 12 to 16, but now it's pretty rich. Exactly. Right. Are you including vets that are under 65? No. So if you read the analysis here, we actually are including vets that are older than 65, right? And we're conducting these analyses from this angle, right? Potentially, maybe we this is you can always reduce this. You can cut this analysis, let's say, by half to be conservative. Cut everything by half, and instead of $42, call it $22. And remember, that's the SaaS business, and that's the SaaS business off of just a VA deal. That's not the Duke. That's not this. That's not the Medicare Advantage, right? Okay. Mhm. So now let's go ahead and see. I like everything you say. Salesforce SaaS multiple might be more closer. Yeah, Al is thinking outside the box. Hang on to those shares. The potential is mind blowing. Yeah. Oh yeah. SaaS business will exponentially skyrocket in 2025. It will be wild worldwide business. Imagine if it goes internationally. Again, guys, we don't know kind of where this is at, guys. We're so early. Okay. Tempest AI was a sleeper. Noticed today they over 80%. Their description seems similar to counterpart, in which, yeah. So we actually talked about Tempest AI right around $35. Remember, we were doing an intrinsic on it, and we were like, this could go to 100. Yeah, so you can see right here, right? So very good, very good. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's read the rest. Mhm. Okay, so assumptions. The baseline, da 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 da. Let me just make sure here over 5 years. We could just read a little bit of this. Okay. So cumulatively, the 10-year partnership would read around 22 to 24 billion. Uh, this share may gradually decline to 45% by year 10 as younger veterans yeah, they might pass away because they're getting older. There's a way to calculate when people pass on. We can go ahead and read this and just kind of read a little bit more of this here. Kind of do all these things here, and obviously this is a Clover Health's detection. We'll release majority of this in the all this stuff in the research edge, but the majority one I want to talk about with this. So let's very quickly now we went ahead and kind of went over all of this. Now let's go ahead and let's put the price to sale. So let's grow. So, okay, remember we calculated it, the growth rate of 2%. Obviously, I think it's going to grow more than 2%. I think this is just for the VA, right? It could potentially go more with Duke and all these other ones, but let's just assume this. Shares outstanding is 501. They're starting 2100, which is 2.1 billion. So let's do 2100 here. Okay, that's fine. We'll just reload it real quick. Give me a moment. Sorry, internet's kind of slow, guys. I'm sorry. Forgive me here. 2%, 501. We'll do 2100 here, and then bring the price to sales. So we'll do first the typical, which is price sales of 10. We'll do price to sales of 10. So price sales of 10. So $52 stock price, around 42, around 42. So bull case 52, 40 all the way to 40. Let's say call it 52 to 63. Let's go ahead now and do the price of sales of the 22.06. This one first we did 10. 20. Now let's do 22.06. This is obviously of 2%. We could do more, but let's just kind of see where this is at. Yeah, 118 to 144. Right. Get it? This is the stock price, right? Potentially, right? Speculation, right? So now let's go do 44.1. Okay. 44.1. Okay. 231 to $281. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do Palantir's crazy 88.25. That's like freaking crazy, 88.25. And that's just growing 2%. That's $462 to $563, right? So again, the potential is crazy. It's more than what people can think. And I'm just going to leave you with this. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to go back to my boy, market cap. Where's my boy at? Where's my boy? Let's go to media. There it is. That's my boy. All right. So Vivek said this from a long time ago. In 10 years, I strongly believe that it is possible for Clover to have made the biggest impact in healthcare, while simultaneously, I need you to listen now, ladies and gentlemen, turn on your ears, while simultaneously accruing the largest market value in healthcare in excess of any healthcare company that exists today. Any healthcare company that exists today. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. If you want access to our flash sale, please go ahead and enter the flash for $500 off our lifetime access to everything we offer. I think we're going to be very wealthy in the coming 10 years. I'll see you on the next one. Speculation out.